What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of The Long Dark. My name is Splattercat. I'm happy to have you here today as we return back to our shelter. So in the previous episode, we had tried to go up to the dam. Unfortunately, it just didn't play out that way. I would have preferred that it played out that way. I enjoy play as much as the next person. However, we keep getting attacked by random animals, and so I think we've got problems. We've got problems that require solving, and so for right now, I went outside and I harvested up quite a bit of just like random hardwood, and so I think if we can get a fire started right now, let me grab some of this cedar real quick. Now that we got the cedar, I'm going to start up a fire. We're up to a 79% chance to start a fire, which isn't so terrible. By the time you reach day 10 to 20, you should be pretty much 85-90% with nothing but cedar, and then you should be up into the 60s as far as it goes for like starting a fire from scratch with materials that are less than satisfactory. So anyways, we failed. Damn it. Alright, well, oh, we're out of tinder, are we? We're out of tinder, are we? Okay, well, I can solve that. That's not a big deal. We'll take all of these, we'll transfer them in, and what we need to do with these right now, in case you were wondering, is we need to take these, and if you go to the harvest menu right here, you can actually harvest these out pretty quickly. We'll take an hour, and let's see how much newspaper we can get out of here. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of needs for the periodicals right now. Won't need to know any old information. I'm interested in finding out what happened to everybody on this map and like why there's so many bodies all over the place, although I guess that's going to be pertinent to the storyline mode that they're going to be implementing with the 1.0 release. Is that the final one right there? No, we got a little bit more going. That's fine. We need tinder plugs. 9 hours of darkness left. That's unfortunate because we still have like a lot of stuff to get done right now. Doesn't feel like it's that dark either, or is it just me? I don't know. Start a fire. Come on, if you fail again, I'm going to be a little, not like upset with you. I don't want to like stress you out right now because I know when people are operating under duress, it's difficult to get the task done, but I'm going to need you to bring it home right now. Damn it. And just like solve this for me. Can you solve this for me? I would love you to solve this for me. I would be willing. 79% we failed 3 times in a row, right? 4 times in a row. We should not be having this problem right now, given the statistical spread. Like, we seriously should not be having this problem right now. Like, statistically, we're going on like 5 failures right now with an 80% chance. That's pretty bad. That means that we've nailed down the 1 in 5 chance that many times in a row. Like, that'll statistically drive you crazy if you're into the maths. Then again, gambler's fallacy and all that fun stuff. Maybe the problem is on my end. There we go. This one should be... Oh my god, are you serious? How do you mess up a fire when it's that close? Alright, because you are just... You have... This is like pathetic right here. You have matches. Like, you know how easy it is to start a fire if you've got matches? This is horrific right now. This is absolutely miserable. I feel like I should berate you at least a little bit. Like a slight browbeating is in order. Just a little one. Not a huge one. I don't want to be a dick about it, but... My god, you have matches and you have tinder. Like, you have the 2 most important parts of starting a fire. Where is the fundamental malfunction right here? If you were just trying to light a log on fire with a match, I'd be like, alright, you could have trouble right there. Then again, you could have just done scrapies, so why didn't you do that? If you don't know, what you could do with a log is if it has like a lot of bark on it, you can take a log and you can take a knife and you can just scrape along it. And that'll give you scrapies, which are basically just like these little shreddies that ignite really, really easily. And so you can make yourself some scrapies real fast if you need to. Or you can find old man's beard, which is always a pretty good prospect. If you don't know what old man's beard is, it's the stuff that hangs from pine trees. It's kind of like that mossy, green, dry shit that hangs from pine trees. That stuff is super flammable. Like, super flammable, to quote Dr. Cox. But anyways, it's got quite a bit of flammability, and so that's pretty good as tinder, too, if you're into it. If you're into it. I'm going to try and get all this cooked right now so that we don't have to deal with it later. I don't want to have a whole bunch of, like, random raw meat laying around the house, just, like, stinking up the place. We're thirsty right now. Well, how about I take care of... How's about I take care of that? So we got venison on that side. Only 97 calories worth. So let me eat that. It sounds like there's a storm outside. A storm is a brewing, so that's pretty good. We don't have to worry about, like, wasting time or anything like that. Take us a minute to get that done. Drink a little bit of the old agua. There it is. No longer encumbered. Wood stove. I'm going to have to add a little bit more fir firewood to you. And then we're just going to have to hang out a little bit together and just be warm. Be warm. That's my advice in life, is make like a fire and just be warm to those around you. But don't burn down their stuff. That's the second half of the phrase. Be warm to those around you and don't set their stuff on fire. And you will have a good life. It's Guruism by Splattercat right there. I feel like I'm staying up all night doing this right now. I definitely feel as though I'm going to turn around in just a moment. We're just going to be, like, out of daylight. Then again, it's only been, like, 5 or 6 hours. Maybe we'll just have, like, a short night of sleeping tonight. Do you like these periods where I'm in here just, like, cooking up food and just hanging out and talking for a little while? If you do, let me know down below in the comments, because, honestly, I don't really know how to edit a series like this where there's so much, like, random stuff going on. We'll grab that right there. Fantastic. Alright, looking good on that side. I think for now we've got enough water and we've got enough food to not have to worry about things into the future. Let's eat that before bedtime, because nothing says indigestion like stuffing down an entire kilo of steak before you go to bed. Let's sleep for 7 hours. Seems alright. I think we just actually drank, so we shouldn't have to worry about dying of dehydration in our sleep, which is another feature that I'd be like, I think you should actually just go down by like a flat amount of hydration per hour. There we go. We're at 90%. Looking pretty good. And once we get that squared away, we should be... Sounds like we still got a storm roaring outside, which is a little bit unfortunate. Let me take a look outside and I'll see what we got going on right now. Definitely don't want to adventure in a storm. That's a bad way to, like... It's a really, really good way. It's a bad way to go about your business, but it's a really, really good way to get yourself frozen to death on the side of a highway. So yeah, it is minus 22 degrees outside. That's way too cold for my California-raised ass. It never... I mean... So, it depends where you live, but I lived in Petaluma for a long-ass time. And in, like, Petaluma, it never gets hotter than, like, 80 degrees. I mean, sometimes it does. Very, very rarely, though. And then on the opposite end, so rabbit skins right there. What do I have? So, I've got 3 wolf skins. What am I working towards right now if I wanted to make a wolf skin coat? So, there's the wolf skin coat. I need 4 of those, and I need 4 pelts, and it takes 50 hours to create. You are not to be trifled with. Yeah, no, go... Oh, there's a torch right there. Huh, might even keep wolves at bay. A bearskin bedroll and an old man's beard wound dressing. Okay. Well, I thought that maybe you could use it as a tinder, but in this game it looks like you can use it to heal yourself, although I wouldn't... if I had a big gaping wound, I don't know if I would rub old man's beard in it. Would that actually work? It prevents infection. Huh? That's another one that I'm going to have to look up. I've heard stuff about aloe vera, and I've heard stuff about certain tree saps. And I know that I've heard somebody say something about the fact that you can cauterize wounds with both tree sap. You can light it on fire. You can actually fill the wound with it and then light it and it'll cauterize it, but damn will it hurt. And then you can also use gunpowder to do it. I've seen somebody use gunpowder. That was on a TV show, though, so it might have been fake. Well, I guess since we've got a lot of the stuff that we need right now, that's all in good condition. Let's drop all of those. Put all of our gut over here. There it is. Okay. Gut's been put away. Should probably store up some of this meat for later. If I forget where it's at, please remind me, because I will forget where all this meat is at. I'll be like, where the meat at? And I'll get all frustrated with myself and I won't be able to find it. And then I'll just look like an idiot for hours at a time. It sounds like the weather may have calmed down slightly. Since we're making a run for the dam anyways, it might actually be manageable. We got a bedroll with us, right? I was gonna say, if we got a bedroll with us, we're good. Let's ride. Let's do this thing. We're a little bit low on water. Yes. Yeah, we got a couple liters left. It should be alright. We got 0.3 liters left. We have less than a liter, but it should be enough to refill our thirst by the time that we get out here and we loot up all the stuff that we need from the dam. So with a little bit of a walk in front of us, the primary goals that we have for right now, we're pretty much food self-sufficient, and so check that off the list. Water self-sufficient as well. I think that it's probably a decent idea to spend a day or two just gathering wood. That's going to be the other thing that having like a solid food supply enables you to do. We have 5 bullets right now. I really, really hope that we find more bullets when we go out to the dam. Typically, the dam tends to have a couple boxes of ammo. So if we could get up to maybe 15, 20 bullets, I'd feel a lot better about our prospects for the future. But as of right now, ammo is actually a real concern. That's one of the few things that I'm concerned about with this playthrough. Typically, I don't worry about ammo. It tends to be something you find a lot of. But as of right now, so we've got food locked down. We've got water locked down. I want to get a massive supply of wood. I want a raging supply of wood inside of our base within the next couple episodes. If we can get that accomplished, that's going to secure our water supply even better. It's going to make sure that we stay warm. Additionally, if we can get future-proofed a little bit further and cook up some more food, it's going to guarantee that we'll have the ability to transition into the next zone without too many problems. There are still things on this map that we haven't explored and that we haven't found just yet. There's a Prever bunker, there's going to be the ranger station, there's going to be the logging cabins out that way, and there's also going to be a couple more camping areas that we haven't gotten to just yet. But for right now, I think we want to start ramping into just sort of like preparing to going into the next zone. Aside from the close call with that wolf, this playthrough has been uneventful. We got the firearm really, really early on, and that tends to be the problem that I find with this game, is that if you loot the gun very, very early on into your playthrough, it tends to sort of like cheapen the rest of the experience. Makes your life very, very easy as you go further in. Even in like the Stalker mode, it's a little bit... Well, I mean, the wolves, I guess not. I'll take that back. In Stalker mode, the wolves don't die from one bullet. So I'll add that in right now. I'm hoping that this fog decides to, like, piss off later on. I don't know if it will or won't, but I'm really, really sincerely hoping that it will. Sometimes there's a dead body out here somewhere that we can take a look at, but it's usually randomly placed. Nothing out over there. Got a deer carcass over here. Not a bad plan to maybe get elbow deep up in this one right here. If we're not going to take the meat, my suggestion would be that we at least take the hides, because we're very, very close to getting the deerskin boots right now. And so I'd like to complete that task. I think when we go into the dam, we're probably going to end up shooting a wolf, though. And so we want to save a little bit of our space for other stuff. I think we're going to be encumbered by the time we get out of here. We may have to set up... I may set up sort of like a way station over here. We're freezing to death right now. That's unfortunate. Okay, so let's make for the dam before this gets any worse. It looks like we are going to be getting warmer as the fog dissipates and the sun starts to distribute some of its photons in our direction. We can be like, ah, and just bask in them. You guys ever like sunbathed with your cat before? I used to do that. We have sunspots on the floor, and the cat will be all up in the sun patch, and I'll be like, scoot over, bitch. And I'll have him scoot over, and then we'll sit down, and then we'll like cuddle in the sun patch. And be like, ah, and it's pretty awesome. It's a good bonding experience between you and your ancient pill. My cat takes so many pills right now. Like, he got super sick like 2 weeks ago. And like, oh my god, he takes a lot of pills. There's the dam right there in case you were looking at it. You just got to follow your way down the dam railroad. Once you find your way down the dam railroad, you use the little dam path over here. And once you've walked down the dam path, you'll be inside the dam place that we were looking for. There it is. And so there's your lack of your n- humor right there. Where some number equals n. The joys of math classes. I actually really, really enjoyed some of my math classes. Like, I really liked calculus. I despised number theory. Number theory was the worst. I'll get that on the way back out. We're too cold right now. That's would be like, that right there would be gambling with our condition. We would get it done, but we'd be at like 30% condition. And going into this building, there's like 85% of the time there's a wolf that lives in here. And so you got to be careful about this. God, it's so dark. My suggestion for this room would be to listen, because he makes snarly noises. And then it would be to place that right there, so that at the point where the wolf comes after us, we've already got a weapon out, we've got the illumination that we need to take the shot and get rid of him. I think we'll be alright, but just keep your ears open for right now. I'm going to use matches over this way. It looks like there's a box of rifle ammunition right there.
This'll come in handy.
5 rounds. It definitely will come in handy, and honestly, it's even more handy because it's in your hand right now rather than being on the floor. I think if we... God, I'm so paranoid inside this place. I always am, because sometimes the wolf gets you and it's just... There he is. You don't want none, Wolfie. No! I clicked! Oh my god, I clicked. Oh, that's the lamest thing ever. I clicked to take the shot, and it entered the wolf animation so that he got a free hit on us. Oh, come on. Did I just drop that right there? He'll come back in a second. Hold on. We need to apply an antiseptic. Damn it, that's so upsetting. That's like a known problem that people have complained about on the forums, and it still hasn't really like gotten fixed. Like the wolf essentially... A lot of people, myself included, wait until the wolf is really, really close to squeeze off the trigger, and there's an animation where he jumps on you. He should die of bleeding in just a little bit anyways. We shouldn't have to deal with him. It's just me being disappointed about the fact that we just lost a whole lot of condition. So, a little disappointed right there. We've got a little bit of venison on us. It's raw. Luckily, there's a fire barrel downstairs that we can make use of in just a little bit. Got a toolkit right there, which is a thing that we... I don't know if it's coming at me right now. It should bleed out. I think. Like, from my experience, after you stab it a couple times, it just runs around this room in here. Just sort of like panicked. And then eventually, it'll bleed out. However, that's not going to cause me to, like, stop being paranoid or stop protecting my ass. Got another toque and some pants over here. Those will be nice for the cloth. Get him. There it is. I love that effect right there. I know that I've had my complaints about the wolf in the last couple seconds, but I love that effect right there where your ears actually get the ringing effect when you fire a gun inside. Let's go ahead and remag that up. What is this, like a Mosin Nagant? Like, I feel like it's gotta be. We've got a little bit of meat right there that we can get off this thing. I don't want to waste my time with it right now because our hunger's looking kind of bad. Instead, what I'd rather do is let's take an hour and we're going to forage up some meat because there's a fire barrel downstairs, and we can use that to cook our dinner. I don't know if we have enough supplies in order to make this happen, but given the amount of meat that we have right now that's open and available for our perusal, it might be a good call, especially considering we're a little bit low on water, so we may have to do like a full spread, like let's hang out down here and get stuff done type session over the next little bit. Cardboard matches, okay. Hunger's still looking sub-satisfactory. Do we have... We have no other food. Okay. So let's go through. And for right now, this is going to be the best plan. I'm going to have to leave us with a little bit of calories. Otherwise, this is just not going to work. But if we could break some things down. If you're wondering what the brackets are right there. So you can only forage so much wood from any given location. And so what we need to do right now, is that a fire barrel? That's not a fire barrel. Fire barrel is what we need very, very badly, and there doesn't appear to be one up and in here. I should probably turn off my lantern before I do all this too. Water purification tablets, that'll save us a little bit of time. Grab my lantern. I've never seen more than one wolf in here. We'll come back and dissect him in just a minute. For right now, though, we're just going to try and get down the stairs. It looks like we have 40% condition right now. Little bit of a rough situation to be in. We have hit a patch, just a nasty little dirt patch of suffering. However, I think we should be able to pull this all together. Oh, good. There's wood around the trash barrel, too. Awesome. So we'll use accelerant right here because it'll make our lives a lot easier. Really, we failed with 90%, huh? With accelerant. That's pretty bad if you fail to get that thing lit with the old engine technique. Wow, really? Are you serious right now? You've got to be kidding me. You failed twice in a row with a 90% chance. That is just absurdly unlikely. I'm beginning to wonder if those numbers are properly represented up there because it happens so frequently. Well, that means we just got to sit here until we get a fire going. Watch, we're going to succeed on the first try with the 55%. That's what it's going to be. You failed with old engine, huh? You failed with old engine. That's... I don't see how that's even possible. Like, you soaked it in gasoline, and then you still failed to set it on fire properly. And then you got it the first time when you were doing it by hand. That's the really impressive part. Like, sometimes with my characters, I just don't know what to think. Let's cook up some of this venison real fast, because hunger is going to be our major problem for right now. Looks like we just ran out of lantern fuel. It's okay, though, because we have a backup lantern. I'm going to get... Let's eat that first. Are you serious? It took us like an hour to cook 53 calories worth of venison? See, they need to fix that too so that it's represented in here which venison you're actually cooking so that you don't waste your time on like a crappy little pile of venison that doesn't do anything for you. On this side, there we go. We got that all done. We're going to go back so that we're not starving any longer. Eat that. That'll give us 800 calories, which should allow us a little bit of time to bounce back. I think we got 2.5 hours right now. Let's melt a couple liters of snow. Once those have been melted, we'll treat those with the tablets. That's leaving us with an hour and a half left. With an hour and a half left, let's get a little bit more wood so that we can restock this, although I think that's only going to buy me another hour and a half, so I might be treading water right now. Yeah, so basically I'm treading water. I'm not really gaining a whole lot of time here. No fuel in the lantern. That means I'm going to leave it right there. We do have another one that should have some fuel in it so that while we're running around. This is mostly for all of you out there in YouTube land. Typically what I do, should have done 4 liters. Typically what I do is I just run around in the dark, but I prefer to keep you all appraised and illuminated as to what's going on while we run around in here. Light that up. It should last us for a couple more minutes. I'd be really, really surprised if we didn't pull out at least a couple of random resources from in here. We got a grape soda on that side. I love grape soda. Grape soda is delicious as long as it doesn't get like too dimetappy. Dimetap is it's a medicine that we have here that tastes like grapes. That's all that it is. I'm going to try and loot out some of these guys, and then we're going to go back. We're going to dissect the corpse for the meat. We're going to cook up as much of that as possible. Then we should be good. We got 1 rifle round right there. We've got a flare, a hatchet, some painkillers. Hopefully this corpse has got something for us. Let's rifle through his drawers real fast. Obviously, it's not pervy if he's dead. It doesn't count as pervy if he's dead. That's the way that it works. I don't make the rules of the universe. It's not perverted if he's dead. You're allowed to strip him naked and look for stuff. I wish you could kick out one of these windows right here and climb through it. It'd be a lot easier than just like running around haphazardly in this location. It is going to get dark around here pretty soon. We only got a couple hours, which is why I try and stock up before I go into a location like this, because I know that I tend to get waylaid out here. And while that sounds really, really awesome, it's actually not. Getting waylaid is, I don't know, it's a little bit too it's too surfery for me, I guess. I don't know, your hair starts getting all bleached blonde and sort of wispy, and then all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, whatever. Stop caring about things, living on a shack on the beach, just like surfing all day, every day. Living the dream, all that fun stuff. So 45 minutes to harvest the meat off this big, dead, stinky bastard. And so let's harvest the meat right here. It looks like we are going to be stuck, unfortunately, with match light from here on in. And so you'll just have to bear with me in the fact that I don't think we have any kerosene. Do I have any? If I can refuel it... Yeah, I was going to say, I think that was a mistake that I made, is I actually took the kerosene, and I think I put it inside my other inventory. So for right now, it looks like we're fatigued, we're hungry, we got a lot of problems right now, we got issues. We should, however, have enough time to cook something here. 52 minutes with the fire barrel. I'll go like halfway through the list to guarantee that I'm not getting one of the shitty stacks of meat, so we can get this going, and then I'll try and start another fire from here. So with 31 minutes left, it's going to take me 21 minutes to do that. Let's eat the steak first. The better proposition might have been to look for wood first and then do this, but I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Let me see if I can buy myself a couple minutes here. We may lose our fire. Nope, we got 7 minutes left. Throw that in there. Okay. A little bit thirsty. Let's use the purification pills to get ourselves all nice and set up with some purified water. Over here, each pill is going to do 1 kilogram of water. So just keep that in mind while you're doing this. So I should have done, that's what I was talking about earlier, where I should have done 4 liters so that we could get 4 liters out and actually get rid of all these pills so that we didn't have to have them anymore. Either way, though, with 3 liters of water, we're going to be set up pretty far into the future. I don't think we actively need... Well, hell, just do another one of the wolf meats for right now. It'll do. Alright, so there it is. We're all set up with that. The wolf meat's a little bit heavy, but I think if we keep stuffing it in our mouth, we should be able to get rid of a lot of the random over-encumbrances that are in the way. Drink a little bit of water right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off the episode right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of The Long Dark. I look forward to seeing you in future episodes. I wanted to thank you all for being here. Hi to everybody. I'll see you next time.